Welcome to another exciting edition of Travel Guide. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Today we will be visiting the Chicago Children's Museum. It's a great place on a 0-degree day, and the Polk Brothers Fountain is a great place to go after the museum in summer. An amazing educative museum for children inside the Navy Pier area with 4-story building consists plenty of children activities, from art to playground area. It was a 5-minute walk to Navy Pier from there, or it would be if you go faster than a 2-yo. Each exhibit is self-contained, easy to keep busy kids corralled, but also fascinating. They don't usually want to leave anyway because they're so engaged. There's a fun art studio as well with varying classes, and on the 3rd floor there is a hands-on hardware workshop with tools. It's a very special children's museum that seemed to me to have crammed as much entertainment, learning, and wonder into their space as possible. This museum is phenomenal. You can be anything you want to be if you just believe. Dress up, water play, chess, build, the list goes on. Every Thursday from 58 the museum has family night sponsored by Target, and it is free for everyone. During the summer you can get soaked at the fountain located in front of it, and once it gets dark the fountain lights. It gets bigger on the top floor. Happened to be visiting Chicago on a Thursday night, and took advantage of the free hours, which was great. Kids loved playing with all the exhibits, especially the water room. It's not cheap, especially if you park on site, but there are hours of fun to be had, and there are adjoining areas to relax, eat, and see the rest of the Chicago shoreline. The only downsides are parking hard to find nearby on busy days, and the museum gets very crowded, being the nearest children's museum in town. Climbing areas, toddler play areas, tinkering lab where kids can create wood projects, and hands-on crafts, fossil area to excavate, tree house to get a feel of nature, pretend play area with a big CTA bus, car, grocery store, etc. There's something for crawlers in the kids zone, and tree house all the way up to early teenagers construction areas where they can assemble buildings and towers. Otherwise it's just a bunch of kids running around making a mess, and difficult to find the pieces to most of the exhibits. Water items in one room, dress up like a fireman in another room, building and construction in another room, sailing and boating in another. Can get a bit chaotic depending on which room you were in, and number of kids, but there were rooms available that weren't crowded as well. If you visit Chicago with kids, it's a good place to stop by for a couple of hours, while on Navy Pier. They have classes, and 3rd floor has kinda sitting area which is nice to rest little, especially when you are with 3 kids there. If you have family, or friends in from out of town, Navy Pier, and the museum is a place to go. If you have kids, live in the Chicago area, and don't have a membership, you and your kids are missing out. And it's a reasonable price, but just remember that every adult pays too, so if you want to keep costs down, don't take all the relatives. Parking is now $30 at the Navy Pier garage, and that's for all day, but there's no in and out parking. There is a dinosaur dig site, a mini town, engineering, and woodworking areas where kids can multiple floors of fun for kids. Outside of the museum, but within the building, are many restaurants, an IMAX movie theater, and of course, the rest of the Navy Pier. They have a room for babies and toddlers learning to walk, a very fun water play section with the river and dam set up. The Chicago Children's Museum is definitely one of the best places around to take toddlers, preschoolers, kindergarteners, and other young ones. So much to do for kids of all ages. Great layout, and plenty of space to move from area to area. They have set rooms that never change, a fire truck safety section, a city section with a kid-sized bus, and cars to play on, etc. As well as a room that changes every few months. So I've been to an animal-themed room, a castle room, and a super fun winter wonderland setup. The parking is $28, so just know that before you go, maybe you want to park elsewhere, and take a taxi something. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and leave your comments below.